What did I do? Oh, I went to a session by Scott Brown and Darick Brokaw. This was really fun. It was called Architectural Jazz: The Psychology of Project Collaboration. So what happened was they broke it into two parts. One was they were talking about how an architecture project is like a jazz. It's like a jazz band, really, where things are impromptu, but you make changes and you adjust to make like the music sound great, just like jazz. And it was the psychology, not the technology, which is great because I think that's actually the hard part. You could teach a group of people how to push buttons, and that's the easy part. But to have them work together, that's the hard part.
Sure.
So they talked about the psychology of it, and Scott Brown, who's been using Revit since the day it came out. He works for Beck in Dallas, and he also was a psychology major, and so he has a unique perspective into like a psychoanalysis point of view. So what he did was, well, first of all, let's back up. So what happened was Darick Brokaw went up there and talked about basically what you can do to get a team to work together and how to inspire them. And one thing he talked about was getting people excited about the work they do. And I think that was a great idea. This is something we'll have to do at our office. We'll have to figure this out. But he was saying when your kid comes home from school, or when you were little and you came home from school, and you had something, either your parents or you as a parent would put it up on the fridge and say, hey, look, this is what you did and I'm proud of you, and you show it off and you were proud of it, and you'd walk by it all the time and say, hey, that's mine, and all that. So he talked about that concept being the same at work, where you can get a board for anyone who wants to put their stuff up, or you as the manager can put their stuff up, and then there's this sense of pride and community, and you can be proud of it. I think that was an awesome thing. And then also it's a communication tool for what you're working on, because even people at my office, I don't know what they're all working on, but if I see something they pin up or has a picture and their name on it, I'd be like, oh, you're working on that? That's a cool project, and that sparks up a conversation. So I think that was really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, really cool. I just need to figure out how to implement that in our office, because in our office we're a bit more rigid on what goes on the wall.
Yeah.
So we need to find like a what do you call it, an informal wall, or I don't know, something. That's
or something digital, even to where you can change it.
Something digital, yeah, I suppose. I kind of like the raw. I kind of like the analog raw nature of just a pinned up something.
Yeah,
I do like that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that. I got to talk to management. I'm gonna work on that. But I love that idea. Okay, and then Scott Brown got up and was talking about how, but to get people to work together, you have to really understand the psychology and how they work. And he was talking about how you can figure out, like, how certain personalities don't work together, and so how you can figure out what personality people are just by looking at them, or you can have them take these psychoanalytical tests, I suppose. But he was really transparent about it, which was awesome. So he was like, here are all these tests you can take, and you can find out what personalities you are. And so he took the test himself, and he was giving all the results about how he turned out and what categories he fell into and what type of personality he was and all the different types. And then he was saying how he could work with these individuals but not those, and he even had a few volunteers in his office to do it, and he was confirming it, like, yeah, that person does it this way, and then once he did all that, then he was talking about how different people react differently to what you say and how you inspire them, and I thought it was interesting because certain personalities, you have to, if you want to get them excited, you can't just compliment them on what they're doing, but you have to compliment them on what they're thinking. Or, it was really interesting. I took so much away from that class, and so I started thinking about how I work and people I interact with, and I was like, that's right. And it was great because you tend to kind of do things. You kind of the way you talk to one person is a lot of times the way you talk to everyone else, and that is not always the most effective way to get people to work with you and get things done. And so I thought it was an amazing class.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to go back and read the paper.
Yeah, you go back and read that. You better go take those tests, Jason. You better take those psychoanalysis tests.
Right.
And so I know how to talk to you on the show. You too, John.
There we go.
So good job, Scott Brown, and let's see who else was the other gentleman. I could say, and Darick. Yeah, good job, guys. All right. Okay, what's next? I think the last class of the day, Jason.